Welcome back to the first edition of Limitless Interviews. I have with me this time around Mr. Razzle Dazzle himself to die for. And to die for, how you doing, my friend?
I'm always good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Now, today I just kind of want to go over your experience as a professional player, and we're going to start this interview off by kind of going all the way back to the beginning for you. And I'm curious, how did you get into competition in general?
To competition.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I was just like playing ranked on my PlayStation, and I ran into this guy, who I will not be mentioning for some reasons. But I ran into this guy, and he asked me to join his team. I actually didn't know there was like a pro scene because obviously the scene wasn't that big and all, and I was playing SA and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, I found this guy in ranked, and he asked me to join his team because he thought I was pretty good. And from there, we just signed up for tournaments, and the rest is history.
So was that before RLCS existed, or was
Yeah,
that like the first season of RLCS that you started competing?
I think this was around 2020, so this is before
Okay.
RLCS. So I was competing in local tournaments and stuff, like ACGL and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. And I mean, soon after that was when the RLCS was introduced, and pretty quickly you were on a team that rose up to the top of SSA RLCS. And I'm curious, how did you get to the top of competition in your region? Because I mean, there's only kind of a year and a half or so between the start of 2020, at least, and the introduction of RLCS, and that's not a lot of time to always be grinding. But how did you get to the top of SSA?
To be honest with you, I have no idea. I just played the game. I just played the game, tried my best. I believed I could make it far, and I made it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right,
I
easy
didn't.
as that. Just believe in yourself.
Yep.
Well, I would like to think, I think this is a pretty objective opinion. In the SSA region, you are probably the best player on the ball in Rocket League. And I mean, while you were grinding to get to the top and heavily believing in yourself, I'm curious, was there anything specific that you did to get as good as you are on the ball at this point?
I can't lie. It's nothing special. I barely even sat in free play because like free play for me was like kind of boring. So I
Hmm.
literally, all I did was play twos, not SA, EU, because didn't get many games back then. Right now it's a bit better in terms of SAQs, but I literally just queued EU ranked and a six mans every now and then. Yeah,
Wow.
that's literally it.
So, is the ping like that difficult to play through? Because I mean, how much ping were you getting to EU at the time, if you can
I
remember?
mean, it's somewhere between like 160 and 200.
Wow.
Obviously, it changed over time with different. I got upgraded my Wi-Fi every now and then, but like you get used to the ping, but obviously there's only so much you can do in the ping as well. But it's definitely playable. It just makes life a lot more difficult.
So, would you say that's kind of what helped contribute to your ability on the ball? Because I mean, ping, does it interrupt when you're on the ball as much as it does the rest of the game? Because I mean, everything's kind of zipping around a little bit weirder with the higher ping. But when you're on the ball, is it kind of relatively the same? Because it's only your car and the ball that you're trying to keep up with.
Yeah, I think on the ball the ping is obviously a lot better because except when you like for these very micro touches, like small
Mm-hmm.
touches, you may see it, but like generally on the ball, not that big of an issue. It's more when you're off the ball where the ping plays in.
Makes sense, and I guess that would help you get a little bit better on the ball. But I'm curious now as well, how much of the SSA region, kind of in the earlier days, pre RLCS, were playing on EU ping like that?
I think pretty much everyone at top level, or
Hmm.
I don't know what, but like most of the pros, or most of the best players at that time was playing EU. There wasn't like any SAQs actually, like literally
Wow.
zero. You had to queue for like it was a few set of people. Some were called win traders now, but like it was very frowned upon to queue SA because you literally had to queue for like 5 to 10 minutes for a game, and you'd get like against people 100 elo below you and stuff
Mm.
like that. So it wasn't great.
Okay, well, through all of that ranked adversity at the very least, you rose to the top. I mean, that first season of the RLCS was a big breakout year for you on Bravado. And I want you to talk about that experience, kind of starting in the RLCS, having a professional environment at the very top level in the SSA region for the first-ish time, I mean, official Psionics partnered events. What was that first RLCS season like for you?
To be honest, uh, I knew what my team's capabilities were. I knew we stood a good chance of winning. So it was kind of disappointing, even though we had good results. But like I always strive to be the best. So
Mm-hmm.
we wanted we wanted to win, but like we won some, so we got a taste of victory. But like you can always have more. But like other than that, it was a great experience. Like it was a lot better than the local tournaments. Obviously, respected them for doing what they did with what they could. But like obviously, it was a lot more incentives for us with RLCS. So I was excited in terms of that. But like the results, it's all right. You know, could be better.
Hey, I mean, you made it to Worlds at least. I mean, you were right there with Pirates at the end of the season domestically, and then you qualify for Worlds in Fort Worth, Texas. And what was that experience like, getting to travel to a whole different continent for Rocket League?
To be honest, that it felt like a dream come true. Like I felt like a celebrity. Like flights paid for accommodation, everything.
Hmm.
Like it was all covered. I didn't have to worry about anything. And that was all for playing a game. Like I was actually, my mom actually like, cause my mom, I didn't keep my mom in the loop really with
Hmm.
like the games that I played. So like, when I told her, I think she was in a bit of disbelief. Yeah, she didn't believe I was traveling overseas for games. She thought maybe it was like a scam or something.
That's incredible. I'm surprised you didn't keep her in the loop. I mean, you're playing at the top level of Rocket League esports, and you're not telling your mom? What? Why not?
I don't know. I just didn't feel a reason to tell her really.
Okay. Fair enough. Just doing your
Same with
thing.
my teammate. Same with my teammate Sweaty actually, but I think he told his mom even later than I did. So really runs in the team.
I guess so. That's hilarious. Okay, well, talking about that first season after your solid run, especially at the end of the season domestically, you get picked up by the former Pirates, then Limitless. I think after the first regional, what was it like? What was the process of you getting sniped a little bit by Snowy and his team to join that top roster that you were trying to beat for so much of the first season?
You have to think back quickly. So I think after the first season, like obviously I was a relatively new player in the
Mm-hmm.
scene in the first season of RLCS. So I think Snowy and them, or Snowy's team was a bit surprised to see the damage that myself and my team could do.
Mm-hmm.
So then, honestly, I was hoping to get picked up after beating them a couple of times because obviously, who doesn't want to win? And I thought we'd stand the best chance with me on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to be arrogant, but like this is what I think. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I was just hoping they picked me up, and then they messaged me, and then yeah, the rest is from there.
And to that point, I remember at that Worlds that we just talked about. I see being on the broadcast for SSA. I was talking a lot about that because it was so cool seeing you guys compete in person for the first time. And I was talking to Johnny Boy, and he was like, we were talking about what SSA had to do to improve, and he was like, yeah, the Pirates roster needs to pick up to die for. Like he actually mentioned you because them picking you up would be the best for the region, and I'd say that panned out because slowly but surely the results for SSA have been getting better internationally. I mean, at Worlds the last couple of seasons, and then finally Majors last season. So, from your perspective, what has that improvement been like at an international level?
I mean, uh, from what you guys see, the improvement's definitely been very slow because obviously what you guys see is just like the games we take and all, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously at the start it was like 0 to none. I mean, 1 to 9 or whatever. It was very minimum.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and in the most recent events, we've obviously taken a bit more games every year and there. But like, in terms of playing, that the fans made, I notice, or the viewers, like, we've definitely improved a lot. Like, just we're a lot more fluid. Everything's more smooth, and yeah.
Absolutely. It is visible, definitely. For those that do pay attention, even outside of just the game wins. I mean, obviously the game wins you guys took at this most recent Worlds were massive. That series against KC Pioneers I've brought up in all the interviews because I think that was the best exposure you guys could have given the region. Maybe outside of like winning the series, obviously, which I know you guys wanted, but the 0 second goal that you scored up on a stage in front of thousands of people watching you in person. Talk me through that experience and playing on that World Championship stage and then putting on the show that you guys did against KC.
Obviously, that was like technically, well, not obviously, but like that was actually technically our first like real big crowd game because like
Mm-hmm.
the other worlds and stuff we were at, like the majors didn't have a crowd, and the first wild card we were at, it had like a mini crowd.
Right.
So that was the first like actual crowd game we played, and that was honestly the arena was just like electric. Like everything was so loud you could hear through the headphones. For me, it like people may say it'll make it a bit more pressuring, but like or it'll add a little bit more pressure, but like I kind of enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when we're in that, I was just like enjoying the crowd, feeding off them, because like surprisingly, from what I heard, I think there was some support for us. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
expect that much. So when the 0 second goal came, like my team was literally like, they were like, it's down, it's down. Then I knew it wasn't down, so I was like keeping silent. I was like keeping silent, and I was like paying attention, and I heard the crowd because like when it's 0 seconds, they go like
Oh
oh
yeah.
or something like that. And I was like just like locking it, and then I just shot. It just came.
As a
And that was it.
magical
Yeah,
moment you guys gave us. And talking about having supporters, I mean, I was there in the Limitless jersey. Obviously, like I'm very biased
yeah,
towards you guys for obvious reasons. But there's a group of people that I was sitting near that were starting Limitless chants at the start of the series, and I was like, all right, I gotta go sit with them. So you guys had plenty of fans. You're a great underdog story, an underdog story
yeah.
that can win. I mean, after that World, I mean, you've had several international appearances, and I'm curious. How do you think this season is going to go internationally? Obviously, you have to win the battles at home first to get to the international level, but do you think Limitless is at the point right now where you guys can win series at majors and worlds?
Um, first, it's been a bit of a tough battle
Mm-hmm.
locally, with the imports and stuff. But I think if we didn't believe we couldn't do it, then we wouldn't have been a team still. So I think we're still confident we can firstly beat all the local teams here and qualify for the major. And internationally, I think it's only improving. I think we slowly improving with the results. Like at
Mm-hmm.
first, we didn't get any games from Australia, from OC, etc. Now we're slowly getting games. We got like one game from OC and even one game from England at Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows that the international land experience is making us improve, and hopefully even more to come. I think we all trying to push for a series, and yeah,
I hope it's coming soon. But talking about the domestic adversity right now with the import situation, I want to first get your thoughts on that whole situation. I know you've all been fairly vocal about your displeasure with the imports coming to the region, not even playing in the region, but just as a whole, like what are your opinions on the import teams that have come to SSA?
to be completely honest with you, like I understand why people think that, but like people think that I like dislike them or like I disagree with what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
because obviously they're making my life or our life as SSA players more difficult. But I don't really blame them to be honest, because they're just looking out for themselves. They're just looking out for their own careers, trying to get the best results they can. Uh, However, I do think we were a bit unlucky with like the bunch that came
Mm-hmm.
within like the way they handle the situations and stuff. Like they're very disrespectful to our region and they don't scrum us. So like I feel we're very unlucky in that way. But like in terms of the imports, I don't blame them. I think Epic Games is the one that needs to take action.
Okay, well
Yeah.
put. I think that's a really positive way to view the whole situation, and I mean, I'd like to think it helps improve you guys as well, trying to keep ahead of them. I guess iron sharpens iron. If we're looking at it completely positively, but it did lead to a series loss this past weekend in the RLCS, the round 3 against Mustafluk, and I'm wondering what do you think kind of happened in that series, and you can go as deep or as shallow as you like with this answer. You don't have to give anything away really, but what happened in that series? It was the first import loss of the season, I suppose.
To be honest, I'm a strong believer that like mentality is everything,
Mm-hmm.
and mentality in Rocket League is obviously very big because this is competition, and I think on a good day for us, we should beat them, but I don't know to be honest like what's happening because like we just weren't clicking like it was like depressing kind of in the call.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but like there was no like energy in the vibe. I'll obviously try my best to make sure that's fixed for next time, but like yeah, I think it was just like the mental because we definitely better than that. Like I don't know what happened to be honest. Just the mentality was down, everything was down. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's a learning experience. I mean, you got the loss out of the way in Swiss at least, so you move into groups without too much damage done. But it did look like a different team. You guys looked very different against them. So going forward, I mean, hopefully you guys are able to recover from that. And like I said, it's good to take the loss in Swiss, learn from it. But going into the group stage, what is the team? What are the vibes like? I suppose going into this Friday of the RLCS.
The vibes were pretty good. We're all friends, so we're having a good time, enjoying ourselves, playing well. But like, I don't know where it just fell off. But like, and honestly can't tell you why.
Hmm.
That's that's the trick about mentality. Like sometimes this goes down. I don't know why, but like the vibes why group stages until I guess maybe I don't know. Must have took it away.
Well, hopefully you can recover the vibes a little bit. I mean,
Mm,
this format's it's fairly forgiving. I mean, you can take a lot of losses and still make it to the final days of competition. And I want to get your overall thoughts on the format. I mean, double elim into Swiss, into groups, into another potential double elim bracket of sorts. And I mean, just as a whole, what do you think of the new RLCS regional formats?
to be completely honest with you, I do not understand the format or know the format. I just saw like the name was like AFL Final Eight. That sounds like some Dragon Ball Z format thing. Like I was so confused. But all I know is that every game I play, I try to win. So the format doesn't really bother me.
Hey,
Doesn't
that's
matter who I
the
play. When I play, I just play, try and win.
that's the best way to go
That's
about
it.
it. I mean, just win the matches that are put in front of you. So I
Yeah.
can respect that. It is a lot of matches this season, so you guys will definitely get your reps in. I want to talk about the team dynamics as well. I mean, you say the vibes are good. You guys are all friends. That's pretty much exactly what Snowy and Sweaty have both said in their interviews. But I mean, what are the team dynamics like from your perspectives? I know Sweaty said like Snowy's the older brother, you're the younger brother. He's right in the middle. What do you think?
Uh, yo, it's a tough one. Yeah, I think I agree with Sweetie when say Snowy's the older brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm not so sure about me being the younger brother. Uh, I think Sweetie's more the younger brother. Sweetie's a bit more the quiet side.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Snowy's definitely the older brother, as in, like he does most of the interviews and stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
job of the older brother and stuff. We just sit back and play the game. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I like that. So you're both the younger brothers, I suppose, to Snowy's
Yeah.
older brother. But which makes sense. He's been around a long time, and I mean, you and Sweaty a little bit newer to the competitive side, but hey, it looks like a lot of fun. You guys look like a team that enjoys each other's company, and I mean, looking ahead to this RLCS 2025 season, you guys brought on CP Zebra as the coach, making a coaching change for the first time in several years, and I'm wondering what does bringing in a new coach mean to you?
Obviously, bringing in a new coach, it's a new person, so different perspective. And honestly, Noxus is also a great coach. I
Hmm.
think we just needed something new, you know. Just needed a different opinion, and I think Zebra is very good at that. He has a different way of looking at the game in comparison to Noxus, so I think that's just very good for our team. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a shakeup. I like it. You need something to change. I mean, this is the first season you guys didn't make a roster change. At least the number one team in the region didn't make a roster change. So I got
Yeah.
to change a little bit, keep things fresh. And talking about Limitless as a whole, I have to ask you about your experience playing for Limitless, because it's been pretty much 2 full seasons now for you guys playing under the Limitless banner. I mean, what's it been like? What's their support been like for you and the team all these years?
Honestly, Limitless treated us. They try the best, you know.
Hmm.
So this the amount of effort they put in. It's like we've almost become like a family, you know. Like I remember John saying when we were discussing contracts and stuff, they almost like a family to us. And I think I agree with that statement because we actually like stayed in his house, you know. So
Hmm.
I think we've gotten a lot closer. We've also become friends with the Limitless gents. Like the roster, me, Snowy, Sweetie, Snowy, and I become friends with Sin and John and a lot of the other Limitless members. So yeah, it's been great.
I love that answer. For those wondering, that was not a scripted answer. That is just purely to die for, given his opinion. But I love that so much. It really is like a family, and I love getting to be a part of it this season as well. The team streams are a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch you guys play on Friday. And I mean, looking forward. This is the final question I've got for you. What do you see the RLCS 2025 looking like for you guys in Limitless?
To be honest, I don't like talking. Like I don't like talking big game before we play. Like I don't like talking about results.
Hmm.
I just go out there, give my best, you know. So hopefully we do play like we intend to, like we want to, and we go out there qualifying for all the majors, winning all regionals, and yeah, we do some damage internationally at the majors.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
I appreciate the answer to die for. Fantastic talking with you, my friend, and best of luck this season.
Thank you. Great talking to you.